Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Fox Sports.
Mikey Montook sparked the Rays offense last night, tying a franchise record with 5 hits as Tampa Bay iced Baltimore 8-6. Tonight, right-hander Erasmo Ramirez looks to continue his remarkable turnaround, coming off the best outing of his career. It's a Saturday night showdown between the Rays and the O's on Sun Sports next. On this Saturday night at Tropicana Field, we welcome you to Game 3 of the series between the Rays and the Baltimore Orioles. Just 2 games left on this homestand and just 15 games left in the regular season. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Todd Callis sitting in for Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Stats. So good to have you with us. Well, the Rays and the Orioles have divided the first 2 games right down the middle. Rays winners last night, and they'll send Erasmo Ramirez to the mound tonight, Todd. Hard to think he could be any better than the last time out when he pitched 7 no-hit innings against the Yankees before seeing that no-hit bid go by the wayside in the 8th.
Yeah, other than a perfect game, it's hard to get much better than what he did last time out. Erasmo was 7 innings of no-hit baseball until Carlos Beltran got a hit in that 8th inning. We know how good his changeup can be. That was a big pitch for him. He's also throwing that slider a little bit more often and with more effect lately, and that was a key pitch for him that night as well. The 1 hit allowed, the 2 walks. He was brilliant. Best start of his career, as you said. The happy-go-lucky right-hander really enjoyed that night. And tonight, he'll go against one of the hottest hitters in baseball, in Jonathan Schoop. 11-game hitting streak. Schoop with a .333 average during this time. The 23-year-old second baseman will be a fixture in Buck Showalter's lineup, and he'll be a nice addition to some of those power hitters as they move forward in the future years. This kid can hit it on a line to all fields.
So the Rays and the Orioles will send the left-hander Wei-Yin Chen to the hill with a record of 9-7. Chen, perhaps the most consistent starter the Orioles have had this year. And again, Erasmo Ramirez on the hill for the Rays tonight.
games with a strained left knee. He is playing tonight against the Orioles. And Cabrera batting fifth tonight against left-handed starter for Baltimore, Wei-Yin Chen. A welcome addition to an offense that really ignited when Cabrera first came off the disabled list back in July. But consider this, it really goes back to a couple of weeks before that, mid-June, when Cabby started hitting .321 from that point forward. Before that, he was under the Mendoza line at a .199. So consider the fact that batting fifth tonight, he's .359 in that spot in the lineup in 17 games. He's obviously hitting over 300 since he came off the DL, and manager Kevin Cash knows how vital his shortstop has been.
It's huge. We all know what he's done all year, but in large part in the lineup and offensively since the All-Star break and coming off the DL. He solidifies a lot of things for us. He hits right in the middle of the lineup and plays tremendous defense, so we're excited to have him back.
A full roster, including the Rays shortstop. Counting down to 3 minutes to first pitch, and it'll be Dwayne Statz and Todd Callis with the call. Game 3 of the Rays and the O's from the Trop. It's coming at you right after this.
.25-year-old right-hander Erasmo Ramirez heads to the mound, making his 25th start as he faces the Baltimore Orioles tonight. And this is the lineup Buck Showalter has put together, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Roberto Parra is going to lead it off. Parra in right field. Manny Machado hits second in front of Chris Davis. Adam Jones in the cleanup spot. Steve Clevenger, the DH. Jonathan Scope, with that 11-game hitting streak, is at second. Matt Wieters back behind the plate, batting seventh in front of Steve Pearce. He's at left, coming off the 2-home run night last night. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop, bats ninth.
And they'll be facing Erasmo Ramirez, making his 25th start of the year, 32nd game overall. You see his numbers, including 10 wins, coming off his best start, not only as a Ray, but in his entire career, when 7 2/3 innings, the deepest he's gone in any game this year for Tampa Bay.
It's been a fun year for Erasmo Ramirez after the Rays picked him up from the Seattle Mariners, and a couple rough outings for him early in his Rays tenure, but he has been solid and consistent the rest of the time. And the first pitch presented by Pinch-A-Penny is a fastball and a strike call to Parra. So we're underway here, the Rays and the Orioles tonight. Fly ball to left, and Brandon Guyer toward the line a bit, makes the catch. One up, one down.
Here's the Rays defense brought to you by BMW. Brandon Guyer in left field. Kevin Kiermaier back in there in center, and Steven Souza Jr. in right. Day off for Evan Longoria, which means the rookie Richie Schaefer's at third. Asdrubal Cabrera returns to shortstop. Logan Forsythe also after the day off back in there. James Loney at first, and the rookie Luke Maile behind the dish.
Manny Machado. There's Cabrera back in. And there's a strike. Machado 2 for 13 in his career against Ramirez. One of those hits, a home run. 29 home runs overall for the Orioles third baseman. And he puts down a bunt, a good one. This will be no play. A barehanded pickup by Schaefer. And Machado has a bunt single. Well, there goes the no-hitter.
How can you bunt to break up a no-hitter? Second batter of the game. Hey, Manny Machado's 2 for 13 against Erasmo, even though he does have that home run, as you mentioned. But he figures, you know what? I've got a shot here if I put one down. Schaefer's deep at third base, and he put a perfect bunt down and ended up with a base hit.
That's Chris Davis. Davis, 42 home runs. Shoots it toward the gap into right center field. That's got some carry right off the wall. Back to Kiermaier. They're going to hold Machado at third on the double by Davis. Kiermaier got over there and was perfectly positioned to come up with the rebound off the wall. And so Machado stops at third.
This ball on the inner half of the plate. Luke Maile wanted it on the outer half, and it kind of leaked inside. And I was watching the third base coach, Bobby Dickerson, and the whole time he was waving the runner Machado until he approached third base. Dickerson was anticipating he'd have a chance to score the runner, but a great read by Kiermaier off the wall.
Kiermaier with a great read. He covers so much ground. Great arm. He did everything absolutely perfect on that play. Now it's Adam Jones, 2 men in scoring position. An early threat by Baltimore. Chopped to short. The run's going to score. Cabrera's throw in time. Machado crosses the plate. 2 gone with Davis advancing to third. And the Orioles pick up the first run of the game. 81st run batted in of the year for Adam Jones. And now the DH, Steve Clevenger. So that bunt single followed by the double leads to a run. Cut and a miss by Clevenger. Lefties hitting 184 off Ramirez this year. Right-handed hitters 279. And a lot of that having to do with the changeup. He started him with a slider, and now the changeup, and the count is 1-1. Here's the breakout against left-handed hitters. Ramirez, a minimum of 200 hitters faced, topping the list. Foul ball advances the count to 1-2.
You're right about that changeup being his most effective pitch in general, but especially against lefties. Throws it over 30% of the time on the season against left-handed hitters.
Clevenger started to go after that one. Too low, 2-2. Ramirez 2-1 with a 4.01 earned run average against the Orioles. Clevenger holding on that one. And he misses inside, trying to shoot the corner with a fastball and a full count. See where that pitch was off the plate. And a swing and a miss. Clevenger out on strikes. Man left at third. A run scores. A little slider there to get Clevenger. And the Rays lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers finds Brandon Guyer leading off, then Richie Schaefer and Evan Longoria the DH tonight. Logan Forsythe has Drupal Cabrera back in the lineup, hitting fifth in front of James Loney. Steven Souza Jr., Kevin Kiermaier, and Luke Bailey rounding out the lineup.
And the Rays will face Wei-Yin Chen for the 6th time this year, the 4th time at Tropicana Field. Chen has the fastball slider, mostly to lefties. Against the righty, he'll mix in a changeup and an occasional curve.
Brandon Guyer waiting for the first pitch. It's a strike out there on the corner, a fastball. Guyer 6 of 19 in his career against the lefty. And now 7 out of 20. Base hit up the middle. He'll make the turn and hang right there at first.
Well, Kevin Cash had an interesting decision today. Mikey Monta coming off a 5-hit night. He told Evan Longoria he wanted to DH him, so then he kind of had to choose which outfielder would get the start. Well, Guyer started every game this year against lefties, so he got the nod, and he delivers with a base hit. But Cash said it was tough to tell Mikey after a 5-hit day that he needed a breather tonight.
I can only imagine. I mean, here you are, a rookie. You go 5 for 5. You go, what do I have to do to get in the lineup the next day? Well, Guyer coming through with a base hit. And here's Richie Schaefer. After the first pitch and fouls it. Schaefer happy to get a start at third base. Seen him at first. The outfield, DH. Oh, 2. Fastball around the knees. Chen has had some early inning issues throughout his career, especially with the long ball, and that has continued this year. He's given up 28 home runs overall this year. This one bounding a bit, but Wieters keeps it within reach. It's now a ball and 2 strikes. 28 home runs this year. 25 of those to right-handed hitters. And how about this breakdown? 14 have come within the first 3 innings and 11 in the 4th inning. So 25 of those 28 home runs have come in the first 4 innings of his starts. So get him early.
Well, that seems to be the MO of the Rays versus Chen over his starts against Tampa Bay. It seems like they are able to get runs early against him, and then he usually settles in the middle innings. We'll see how it plays out tonight.
Liner into left field. That was skipped past the diving Pierce. Geyer's going to be waved around third, and the throw to the plate will not be in time on a double by Schaefer, and this game is tied. So the Rays go base hit double, and they have a run.
First non-home run RBI for Richie Schaefer as he hooks one just past the diving Steve Pierce. That ball was heading towards the line away from Pierce, and he had already committed to the dive. So once he dove for the ball, Geyer had a chance to score all the way from first. Probably could have stayed on his feet and held the Rays to first and second or first and third, but Pierce took a shot at it, and it cost his team a run.
Schaefer's second double of the year. And now it's Evan Longoria. Breaking ball is upstairs. Evan, good numbers in his career against Wei-Yin Chen. He's going to drop in there for a strike. Couple of breaking pitches here to start the at bat to Evan.
Usually curveball is a single-digit number of pitches in a game for Chen, and he's unleashed back-to-back curves to Evan Longoria.
294 with a couple home runs lifetime, and there's a high fly ball down the left field line, but it's going to be foul. Home run distance, but he was out in front of that changeup, and so it's a foul ball. As part of that, a souvenir for that young man. Right place, right time.
Who now exits the building. Evan knew he had pulled that. He never left the batter's box, but he had the distance to hit it out.
A couple of change-ups, a couple of curveballs, then the changeup. And now he tries the fastball that stays wide. 2-2. And a cut and a miss. Fastball against Longoria.
Let's take a look at the defense brought to you by BMW for the Orioles. A lot of gold in the outfield gloves between Adam Jones and Gerardo Parra. Half dozen gold gloves combined. Manny Machado also a gold glover along with J.J. Hardy, Jonathan Scope at second, Chris Davis at first, and Matt Wieters gets a start behind the plate.
Logan Forsythe now hitting .281. Takes a pitch inside. Well, Forsythe, look at these numbers for Logan against the Baltimore lefty. Hitting .400 off him, including 3 home runs. That's a ground ball grab by Scope. Throw to first in time, over to third goes Schaefer. Scope was shaded toward the middle, had to go to his left for that one, but made the play.
First time Chen's retired Forsythe in the last 6 plate appearances. He had been 4 for 4 with a walk and hit for the cycle in those 5 previous, but that was a hard hit ground ball. It's just into the shift.
And as Asdrubal Cabrera returns to the lineup for the Rays, he had the left knee strain that had kept him out. He left the game Tuesday in the Yankee series. First pitch strike. Well, we've already seen an interesting mix here from Chin. I think we've seen the arsenal already. He's 15 pitches in. We've seen a slider. We've seen a couple curveballs, changeup, fastball. Fastball, and Cabrera a little trouble timing that one up a little late.
His numbers very similar to last year, Wei-Yin Chen's. The one area he's improved in, first pitch strikes. He has thrown a lot of first pitch strikes this year, by far the most of his career.
Cabrera is out on strikes. Fastball got him. So the Rays score a run in the first. We go to the second in a tie game at 1. Watch the premiere of the Rays' brand new kids TV show, Rays Rookies, tomorrow morning at 11:30. For more information, go to raysbaseball.com/Rays Rookies and check your listings for more episodes coming on Sun Sports. It'll be fun for the youngsters. There's a chopper by Scope to short. Cabrera makes the play. So Scope working on that 11-game hitting streak out on the first pitch on a ground ball. Erasmo Ramirez on the hill here for the Rays, making his 25th start.
Number 32, and Wieners.
He has quietly and pleasantly been a major part of the Rays pitching staff with those 10 wins this year, 10-5. It's been fun to watch him pitch and to be around him. First pitch, Wieners takes a strike.
That could not have been an easy discussion for the front office at the beginning of the season, because they wanted a guy they could plug into the rotation. You don't like to give up young left-handers, and Mike Montgomery was part of that trade, and Erasmo has been everything they could have hoped for and more.
1-1. I think the fact that he's still only 25 helped them make that decision. They were getting a guy who had had some major league time but still young. And if we think back to when they made that deal, I mean, injuries were decimating the staff and the rotation. It seemed that every day there was another malady that the Rays had to face with their pitching staff. Ground ball in front of this one. Cabrera out of the shift, and he makes the play. He was on the first base side of second, so Wieters out short to first against the shift. 2 up and 2 down. So I think the Rays just felt that they had a guy who had some major league time, who could be versatile enough to start or work in the bullpen, and was young enough that he would fit what they'd like to do going forward.
You often wonder when the Rays were making that run to 10 games over 500 at 40 and 30, where they would be without an Erasmo Ramirez, or what Nathan Carnes did in the first half of the season. They were hoping to find arms to plug into that rotation, and those guys excelled in those slots.
Yeah, and you're right. They should not forget Carnes. Nathan Carnes really gave this club a lift and kept them in the race. And he filled some big innings for this club, Nathan Carnes. So these two, Carnes and Ramirez, deserve a lot of credit for what they've done to stabilize the staff to the point that it's still the second best ERA in the American League. 2-1 to Pierce.
And you saw Carnes sitting down in the bullpen. Kevin Cash has said that Carnes will make at least one more start before the season's out. So right now he's kind of in that tweener zone, but we will see Nathan back on the hill as a starter at some point.
Take the count to 2-2. Pierce fouling it off his foot somewhere down in that area.
See that run inside on that fastball. That is really good run in on a righty. Not fun for Steve Pierce, who pounds the ball into his top of his ankle there on the left side.
Yeah, not only is that pitch tough to hit, what are you going to do with it except what he did? And it can also be painful as well as difficult to hit.
Erasmo throws that two-seamer that runs in on righties and away from lefties equally, and he's very effective with that pitch. And you can see right there's nothing Pierce could do with that, as it was well off the plate by the time he made contact.
"13 home runs for Pierce, including 2 last night. That's in 77 games. And the count is full.
The Rays would actually take those odds because he has 10 of them against Tampa Bay in his career in 122 at bats. Here's the home runs last night. Smiley in the last batter he would face, and then Boxberger in the ninth.
Pop fly short right. Souza's still coming. A lot of territory to cover, and he's there to make the catch. 1, 2, 3. Go the Orioles. We're through an inning and a half. The game tied 1-1. strongest fan photo. Use hashtag #SSDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Rays facing left-hander Wei-Yin Chen, and the left-handed hitting James Loney, who is 7 of 21 with a home run in his career against Chen, leads off. And a good look at the pitch. Ball 1. Tapper for Scope. A couple sliders, and Loney grounds out to second.
Right fielder, number 20, Steven Souza Jr.
It'll be Steven Souza Jr. Souza was 0 for 3 last night, but walked and scored a run in the 6-run 5th. The Rays broke the game open. Scott granting time to Souza. Chen was ready to go to work. It's wide.
Steven's about due to crush one. He hasn't hit a home run in a long time.
Well, he had a big cut at a fastball there. He'd like to see that one again. Pitch up and out over the plate. A fastball around 93.
Good aggressive swing there by Souza, who has struggled against Wei-Yin Chen. 1 for 10 with 5 strikeouts.
Well, it's 1-2. Another fastball there. Souza's last home run, number 15, came on the 4th of July in New York against the Yankees. So you know here, over the span of the last 15 games, you feel nothing better than to hit 2 or 3 anyway.
I mean, that was a point in the season where you thought this guy could end up with 25 or 30, and that was before the injury.
He did not go. C.B. Buckner down there at first saying he held up. The count is 2-2. Himself another pitch here on 2-2. The fastball. That would hit 94. That's about the limit for Wei-Yin Chen when it comes to velocity. Cutting the miss. Now he comes back with a slider. After a number of fastballs, the slider strikes out Souza Jr.
Slider was left up a little bit, and Souza just couldn't connect.
Well, Kevin Kiermaier's in there against the lefty. 260 for the year, 300 since the beginning of August. And he has been in there more or less every day, including against lefties. His numbers against Chen are good. 4 of 10 with a home run. Lifts it into left. That's going to carry to Pierce, who comes in. 1, 2, 3. Go the Rays. We head into the 3rd. Tied 1-1. To follow the action of Rays baseball is with MLB.com. At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, replay reviews, scores, StatCast, live radio broadcast, and more. Get the MLB.com At Bat app now. J.J. Hardy, shortstop, and the #9 hitter in this lineup. It's going to be a strike on the outside corner, says Dale Scott. And strike 2. Hardy hit one of the few mistakes made by Drew Smyly last night. Smyly gave up 5 runs in 5 2/3, but only 4 hits, and he was a lot better than that line indicated. And he picked up the victory in an 8-6 win. It turned out to be an extended at bat, 2-2 and an 8-pitch at bat, and the fastball was left up, and Hardy hit it out. Smyly makes that pitch and gets it up a little bit more. It's a pop-up or a fly ball or a swing through. He gets a lot of swing throughs up there, but it was up in that danger zone, and Hardy hit it out. Out on strikes. Strikeout #2 for Ramirez. He had Hardy out front. There's that changeup.
Over 42% of his strikeouts are on the changeup, and he gets that nice change. And Hardy fishing for it, but couldn't connect.
Gerardo Parra came over from Milwaukee, hitting a combined .295 to start the night with Milwaukee and Baltimore. 14 home runs. It's a ball and no strikes, including a home run in his matchups against Ramirez. It's 1-1. Popped up, foul ball. Bailey looking for it and could not find it. He lost that ball. Schaefer came in from third base and tried to make a play on it, but Bailey just never could find it.
It was a helpless feeling for Luke. He couldn't see the ball in the sky or in the dome. With the sky still, sun still out, sometimes that dome is even tougher to see the ball. You can see Bailey's not even close to where it ended up. Usually the sun sets, the roof gets a little bit darker.
Attack foul.
Dwayne, interesting how he attacked at Gerardo Parra. He went slider, first pitch, and a 1-0 count. You look at the numbers breakdown from the beginning of the season till the end of June, he hardly ever threw a slider early in the count. But since then, he had a nice discussion with Jim Hickey. You can see how often he has gone to that pitch early.
And there's the changeup ahead in the count, 1-2. So we've seen that changeup to both the right-handed and the left-handed hitter here once he gets ahead.
And Erasmo's theory, as you take a look at the changeup getting the second strikeout of this inning, his theory about the usage is he said, I can throw the fastball and the changeup ahead in the count where I want to. The slider he's not as consistent with. And so Hickey and he talked about the fact that why not start out an at-bat or early in a count, use that slider. And he has done that with effectiveness a lot more in the second half of the season.
Chano takes a cut and a miss at the changeup. Well, we've seen him with that slider at times be a big slider, and then one where he tried to cut it back a little bit and then return to what I think his natural feel for that pitch is. That's a strike, says Buckner. Machado tried to check.
This has been a perfect inning so far. I mean, Erasmo's thrown every pitch exactly where he's wanted to. He's gotten chases. He's gotten ahead and buried 2 hitters with a changeup prior.
He started Machado with the change. 0-2 comes in with a fastball. 1-2. Fly ball into left. Geyer is there. That ball moving just away enough, and Machado hit it down near the end of the bat. 1-2-3. Tied 1-1.
Joining the big club. Why? Because Sandberg, the former Ray, is the current AAA manager for the Durham Bulls. He's spending the rest of the season with the Tampa Bay Rays, and you better believe he's familiar with the good portion of this Rays lineup with how many rookies have shuttled back and forth. One of them being the young man leading off this inning, Luke Maile. He was, Jared Sandberg, I'm speaking of, was Maile's manager. As you see, Maile hit it hard but ground out to shortstop. He was Maile's manager when Maile first came up in 2012, guys, in Hudson Valley, single A ball. And ultimately, he ended up being the same guy to tell Luke Maile that he got the call up to the big club just a couple of weeks ago. He told me earlier that was his most pleasant experience as a manager so far.
Well, the Rays very high on Luke to begin with his catching ability, his ability to catch and throw. They also think that he's a guy who can develop some pretty good power at the plate. So they think, given enough time, see how the average works out, but they like his power potential as well as his work behind the plate. 2-0. Interesting how that works. We've seen that with Casale. At the middle of this year, a little change in approach, and we have seen Casale, who's big and strong enough to give the club some power. I think he spent a lot of time trying to technically be a good hitter. They said, well, turn it loose. And boy, did he. So they're thinking Luke might be the same kind of guy in that power department.
Well, the Rays have had really nice home run production from their catching position, especially with J.P. Arancibia in place of the injured Kurt Casale lately.
And Geyer hit by a pitch. It deflects and gets Wieters as well. That's the 19th time Geyer has been hit by a pitch. He's tops in the league in that department.
Brandon never budges. That's his MO. He just stays in there on the plate and If you're going to throw inside, he's going to get hit by a pitch. That's only Anthony Rizzo has been hit more in the major leagues this year, and that was also a record-setting hit by pitch. That was the most ever one player's been hit. Sean Rodriguez had tied him for the record in 2011, but that's now a new Rays record for most hit by pitches in the season.
Richie Schaefer, ground ball to third. Machado down to Scope and over to first. That's an inning-ending 5-4-3 double play. On to the fourth we go. Tied 1-1. We raise up for Brittany Borman and the Barry Jones Memorial Scholarship Program. Brittany recently began her fall semester at Florida Gulf Coast University and credits the scholarship with making that dream possible. Her plans include becoming a child psychologist with the goal of helping others. We raise up for education. How do you raise up? Chris Davis opens the fourth inning. Pitch down around his feet. 1 ball, no strikes. Davis doubled in the first inning. His 25th double of the year. Slider down and in again. 2 balls, no strikes. A strike on a fastball. 2-1.
See the shift here against Chris Davis. Very similar, Dwayne, to the shift that was on Carlos Beltran when Beltran had the only hit of the game against Erasmo Ramirez. It was a bullet off the shoulder of Richie Schaefer.
Up the middle. There's a base hit into center. Davis is 2 for 2.
And I asked Logan Forsythe about that ball, and he said Richie and I talked about it as you see Davis go up the middle. Nobody there on the shift. Obviously, 3 guys on the right side and Richie Schaefer over toward shortstop. Logan said, I could have possibly gotten to that ball. He goes, Richie and I talked about it. It's obviously a reaction play for Schaefer. He goes, it would have been a very difficult play to make. But there's a possibility, had it not hit Schaefer up in the shoulder, that Erasmo would have had the no-hitter intact. But again, it's just a reaction play and nothing you can do about it. That was a very similar shift to what we saw with Davis there. You saw how far behind the first baseman Forsythe plays.
Adam Jones breaks his bat down to third. Schaefer. Forsythe 1, first base 2. With the fastball in there, and Jones breaks his bat and grounds into the around the horn double play.
Richie Schaefer making the start at third. A perfect throw to second. And Forsythe, as always, smooth with the turn. We're so accustomed to seeing Evan Longoria make perfect throws that Richie Schaefer can keep making those perfect throws and it won't get noticed because Evan's so good at that.
So just like that, the bases are empty. And here's Steve Clevenger, the designated hitter. Fastball is in for a strike. Clevenger worked the count full in the first inning, and then Ramirez got him swinging on a slider. Pretty close right there.
I think that one fooled Dale Scott a little. That looked like it was a strike.
And it was. It's in there. He tried the curve a little bit more, and he is ahead in the count 1-2. Out of the reach of Forsythe, a 1-2 changeup, and Clevenger has a base hit.
Good piece of hitting here. You can see the change, see if it gets much dive down. Kind of lingered a little bit more up, and that allowed Clevenger just to get it off the end of his bat and pass Logan Forsythe in the right center.
Now Jonathan Scope. Scope has been a hot hitter. The fastball, he was turning it loose there. Scope was. And he missed that fastball in. Strike one. Down and away. Slider had plenty of break on that one. You can see the Rays' young catcher Maley sliding out to receive that pitch.
Really quick, like those actions behind the plate. That was a difficult block that he made look relatively easy.
That's going to drop for a base hit. Shallow center. Kiermaier with the pickup. Clevenger advances to second, and Scope moves his hitting streak out to an even dozen with a 2-out base hit in the fourth inning. Two men on, 2 men out. Now it'll be Matt Wieters. Strike. Wieters looking perhaps for the fastball there. Took the off-speed pitch. High chop back to the mound. Ramirez makes the throw. Had to wait for that one to come down. 2 men left. They do not score. Evan Longoria will open the bottom of the fourth. And this game tied 1-1. Let's go places. By Outback Steakhouse, curbside takeaway. Order online at Outback.com. And by Morgan Auto Group. Make it Morgan. We make it happen. Rays playing host to Baltimore tonight in the tie game 1-1. Evan Longoria set to lead off against Wei-Yin Chen. Rays with a run on just 2 hits, and boy, a big cut by Longoria. He went after that first pitch fastball, looking for his 20th home run of the year, and fouled it back. Evan coming into this game hitting over 340 against left-handed pitching. That fastball is off the plate. Away, 1-1. Play up the right side. Chen staying with the fastball here so far against Longoria. Again, the hard stuff upstairs, 2-2. Logan Forsythe next, then Asdrubal Cabrera. And a full count. Everything hard away. Did miss with the pitch up. Full count. Ground ball down to third. Stayed with the fastball. High throw, but Davis comes up with it. So Longoria is out of there, third to first. And now Logan Forsythe. Cold Hard Facts presented by Clean Chris Coors Light. And his slugging percentage against left-handed pitching this year in great company when you look at Josh Donaldson and Nelson Cruz. Cruz tied with Chris Davis for home runs in the league with 42, and then comes Logan Forsythe. Pitch is a strike curveball to start him. So different approach here against Forsythe for the lefty. Ground ball sharply hit, backhanded at third. Long throw, safe, the call there. Machado with a backhand and made a straight arrow throw to first, but Forsythe beats it out.
Manny Machado has such a good arm, and he's got that internal clock in his head that he feels like he knows exactly how much time he has to take. But this time, he took too long. He could have gotten rid of that ball quicker, but he felt like he had enough time to get Logan Forsythe, and that's a rare mistake by Machado defensively. I think he felt like he had a little bit more time than he actually did.
Some great hustle down the line for Forsythe. So let's see if the Rays can take advantage of that. Asdrubal Cabrera just back in the lineup. He misses a fastball. Chen attacked him with the fastball and struck him out in the first inning. Tough on a guy just getting back. He had that strained left knee. That came Tuesday. Left that game and has been out since then. Pop up, short left, Hardy out, is there and makes the catch. Forsythe back to first.
First baseman, James Loney.
Two gone with Forsythe aboard for James Loney. Loney doubled in 2 runs in the 6-run fifth last night. And 3 hits the night before. And that coming off a 3-hit night Wednesday against New York. He went after the fastball, like the fastball that was up a bit. You could see his eyes light up on the fastball, but up too much, and he fouled it.
Even then, James, always cognizant of where the strike zone is. He turned around and just confirmed with Dale Scott that was a ball, right?
This one just missed. Away. 1-1. There's strike two. 1-2. .30-year-old left-hander out of Taiwan. Wei-Yin Chen ahead of Loney. Loney stays alive, fouling that one away. Steven Souza Jr. is on deck. Stuff, and he fouls that one back.
You mentioned his numbers similar to last year, and you go across the board: the innings pitched, the hits, the earned runs, the walks, the strikeouts, all of them very similar. The big difference is 16-6 record last year, 9-7 record this year, with an even better ERA. So that's emblematic of what has gone wrong with the Orioles this year. They just have not had the same magic they had last year.
Down 2-2. You know, they're still tops in the top 3 in home runs. People thought when they lost Cruz, that's 40 home runs gone. Well, they're still third, and so they do live and die by the long ball.
A lot of people felt that they were going to be the team that was going to have the best shot at the second wild card, at least coming out of the All-Star break. A lot of people felt, watch out for the Orioles. They still have a run left, and that run just never materialized.
Long one down the right field line. That ball is going to be a foul ball. Boy, he came close to getting that one out. Loney watching it down the line. Young man with a souvenir there. Or for the longest, it appeared that it might stay fair, but you can see right there on the foul side of the pole. Well, he fouls another one. So he has turned this into an 8-pitch at bat to this point. Orioles got a run in the first. The Rays won in the first. Nothing since. Well, he fouls it the other way.
James won't strike out much. He will battle you and battle you with 2 strikes.
Came in hitting .333, 7-21 against Chen with a home run. And they've got quite a battle going on right now. This will be the 10th pitch of this at bat. This one down, popping away from Wieters and rolling halfway to the mound. That's going to be a wild pitch, and Forsythe moves up to second.
Good read by Logan as this ball's in the dirt, and he was off as soon as he saw it in the dirt, and now base hit can score him with 2 outs.
So it's been Loney and Chen for 10 pitches in the at-bat. Ground ball right side. Scope takes care of that. Little slider on the 11th pitch of the at-bat. Rays leave a man. We're tied at 1 through 4. Great moment in history on this day in 2002. Andy Sheets with a walk-off single off lefty Sterling Hitchcock, scoring Jason Conti in the bottom of the 10th. And the Rays, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays at the time, defeated New York 3-2 on the Andy Sheets walk-off base hit. In this one, the Rays and the Orioles are tied going into the 5th, and here is Todd Callis.
Dwayne, thank you. Steve Pearce leads things off and takes a pitch down low for a ball 1-0. Love seeing those old Devil Rays videos to see the names.
You know, we got a glimpse of Esteban Yan in the jubilation after that walk-off by Sheets. And Esteban was here at the ballpark the other day and is back tonight.
He's living over in Tampa, and I saw him the other day. It was good to catch up with Esteban, one of 2 Rays pitchers in their history to hit a home run. 2-0 the count to Pearce to start the 5th inning, and this one is a called strike to the knees, 2-1.
Yeah, hit a home run in his first big league at bat against the Mets, as I recall.
First big league at bat, first big league pitch he saw. Never took batting practice that season. He was out of the bullpen, so he's not going to take regular BP with the starters. Asdrubal Cabrera with the play for the first half. So this is basically the first pitch of any delivery he saw all year.
We go down memory lane right there. McEwen ran out of room. And Greg Vaughn could not believe what he saw.
Amongst the funniest things was not only that he didn't take any BP all season long, was that prior to him hitting that home run, the Rays shortstop Felix Martinez, who did not hit many home runs in his career, hit a home run as well. So one of the most unlikely back-to-back home runs you'll ever see in Major League Baseball history happened that day. Felix Martinez, Esteban Yan.
Yeah, a lot of unlikely things happened in those days.
This is true. Very good point.
And I don't know if you noticed Yan, when he hit that ball, he pulled a Kevin Kiermaier right out of the batter's box, but when he realized it was gone, he settled into that home run trot as if he'd done it before. I'd like to see that.
Carnes kind of did the same thing. Nathan was sick that day in Philadelphia when he hit his home run. Here's a little base hit over the head of Logan Forsythe. Some of these base hits by the Orioles haven't been hard hit, but they're finding spaces. And for Baltimore, that's a 1-out base runner. Hit number 6 allowed by Erasmo Ramirez. You
know, Ramirez, when you look at his demeanor now and compare it to when he first came here from Seattle, there is a sense of calm about him and quiet confidence, and that confidence was not here when he first showed up. He'd had a difficult stretch with Seattle, but a few outings straighten things out. He's been a confident pitcher out there.
I'm sure you recall our conversation with El Presidente, Dennis Martinez, when the team was in Cleveland, and he could not stop talking about how happy he was for Erasmo to be here with the Rays and to be working with Jim Hickey.
Well, what a big lift that is for Ramirez to spend time with Dennis Martinez and to receive that recognition from him. That in and of itself is a big lift.
Erasmo with a no-hitter in his last start through 7 innings. Eventually gave up a hit to Carlos Beltran, ended up allowing 1 hit in 7 2/3. Tonight, those 6 hits allowed to the Baltimore Orioles. 5 singles and a double. 3 of those hits came last inning, but the Orioles failed to score thanks to a double play turned by the Rays. We're tied at 1 in the 5th inning, 1 on, 1 out, and Erasmo Ramirez ahead of Gerardo Parra, 0-2. On the ground towards the hole, Forsythe only has the 1 play. He retires Parra. On the out, moving to second, J.J. Hardy.
A nice little job for Forsythe to close the hole on the right side, moving to his left, and with his momentum headed toward the right field line, he still managed to take a look at second just to see what kind of play he may or may not have there. And then a nice throw there to first, right on the money.
Logan continues to be one of those guys, and there's usually a few when you stay around the game long enough that the more you see him every day, the more you appreciate him. Nothing in one series or one game usually jumps out at you with Logan Forsythe, but the consistent approach every day, pretty impressive.
Yeah, you do come to appreciate that because he's not going to give you a lot of flash. He's going to give you, and he'll make the great plays and he'll get big hits for you, but it's nobody's flipping the bat and doing all those things. He's just very workmanlike, and you really have to appreciate the job he's done this year.
Ramirez ahead of the count, 0-2 on Manny Machado. Relatively important batter here in this spot for a number of reasons. It's a tie game. We're in the middle of the game, and Chris Davis looms on deck. You would much rather face Chris Davis to start the 6th inning than with 2 outs in the 5th and runners on. See if Erasmo can put away Manny Machado. Not chase the changeup 1-2. Machado with an infield hit. He bunted his way on the first time and scored the only Orioles run. Both teams scoring in the first, and both starters have locked it down since. Both with pretty good pitch counts. Erasmo at 64 in the 5th. Wei-Yin Chen 57 through 4. Just missed the corner with a fastball. It's 2-2.
You know, the Orioles had to run 6 pitches into the game, and the Rays had to run back 8 pitches into the bottom of the first, but nothing since.
That's what happened last night. Orioles jumped out 3-0 on a 3-run home run, and the Rays answered in the bottom of the second with a Tim Beckham 2-run home run. 2-2 pitch on the ground foul. Little meeting here between Luke Maile and Erasmo Ramirez as you look at the 42 home run, 108 RBI presence looming on deck in Chris Davis. Little discussion within himself there on the mound. Look at that consistency in the pitch count by inning.
And that's been a major improvement for him as compared to a year ago with Seattle.
Up the middle, but Forsythe is there on 2 hops, and Machado retired to end the 5th. 1 hit, 1 man left on base, and Erasmo's happy the Rays shift defensively. It's still 1-1. The Rays, always fun to watch a pitcher's reaction when he thinks he has given up a hit, but the defensive shift bails him out. Erasmo very pleased that Logan Forsythe was playing up the middle. He thought he had given up an RBI base hit.
Check that out. Wanted to hang around just to soak in that good feeling after that third out was made.
He is such a friendly personality, always smiling. Even during that no-hit bid last start, he's out there talking to other guys in the dugout, having a good time. Not many people enjoy life as much as Erasmo Ramirez. Oh, and 1 the count to Steven Souza Jr. to lead off the bottom half of the fifth. On the ground, Jonathan Scope right there. And Souza Jr. retired for the first out of the bottom half of the fifth. We were talking about Esteban Yan a little bit earlier, and he is in attendance tonight, working a little Spanish television with our own Orestes Estrada. Esteban Yan, one of 2 Rays pitchers in history to hit a home run. There he is, the former number 43. Played not only with the Rays, the Devil Rays back then, but also was a member of the Orioles pitching staff. He was a guy, Dwayne, you could always count on. He would take the ball anytime you wanted.
Yeah, great arm, and he's doing some teaching of the game right now. So he's putting all of that to good use. Yeah, you're right. He was ready to pitch all the time.
The one thing about the early Devil Rays, they didn't win a lot of games, but they had some pretty good arms in that bullpen.
Yep.
They had some guys, Roberto Hernandez and Esteban Yan and Jim Messier. And, Chuck Lamar put together a nice bullpen. Not that they had a lot of leads to protect back in the day, but when they did, they had some arms that could do that.
Yeah, big mistake they made was not giving him more at bats.
I believe, and I will look it up, that he had 1 more at bat in his career. I believe he ended up 1 for 2 lifetime. But either way, the fact that he was 1 for 1 as a Ray or Devil Ray on 1 pitch, and it was a home run back at the old Shea Stadium. Little chopper towards short on 2 hops. J.J. Hardy always consistent with his throws, and Kiermaier retired for the second out. Rays have only an infield hit since the first. And that infield hit was a ball that Machado took a little bit extra time on after he gloved a hard hit ground ball off the bat of Logan Forsythe. So Wei-Yin Chen has really started to find a little rhythm here since that first inning.
Yeah, that's what you're always afraid of with him. You know, if you don't get him early, and we talked about his proclivity for giving up home runs early in games, he can settle in, and he's tough.
Both outs this inning on the ground, 2 of the 3 last inning, and all 3 outs in the third on ground ball. So he is keeping the ball on the infield and retiring the Rays in pretty efficient manner since the first inning. Luke Maile hit a hard ground ball his last time up, but at J.J. Hardy, that pitch down low. It's 2-1 to the rookie catcher.
He's had good command of the fastball. We've seen mostly fastballs and sliders. Every once in a while we see the curveball. Really, those 3 more than the changeup.
At the knees for a strike, 2-2.
The changeup, probably his 3rd pitch, but I'd say it's his 4th pitch tonight in usage anyway.
And there's a swing and a miss. Wei-Yin Chen gets Luke Maile swinging. 4th strikeout, the first K since the second inning. Tied at 1, heading to the 6th. inning, an RBI ground out by Adam Jones after a single by Machado and a double by Chris Davis gave the Orioles a 1-0 lead. Richie Schaefer answered as Steve Pearce dived for that line drive and missed it. And Brandon Guyer came all the way around for first to score. And Erasmo Ramirez and Wei-Yin Chen have been very good since that first inning. 5 innings of one-run baseball by Erasmo. He's allowed 6 hits, 5 of them singles. And no further scoring as he enters the top half of the 6th in a 1-1 game. He will have one guy who has solved him both at bats tonight, Chris Davis, to lead things off. Davis with a double to right center field and a single his last time up. And there's a ball rocketed down the right field line. Fair ball to the wall. Davis is 3 for 3. Quick throw in, but not in time as Davis is in with a stand-up double. Steven Souza Jr. getting that ball back in a hurry. But Davis has seen the ball well tonight against Ramirez.
Well, his second double of the night. He jumps on a fastball right here out over the plate, and Chris Davis holds it into the right field corner. His 26th double of the year.
So a leadoff runner on second, and now Erasmo will go to work against Adam Jones. RBI ground out after that Davis double for Jones in the first. He also grounded into a double play. A bunt by Adam. This one was going to head foul, picked up by Richie Schaefer.
Well, the Orioles have left 4 men on base in this game. They left Davis at third in the first. They left men at first and second, including Clevenger on second in the 4th inning. And they left Hardy at second base in the 5th. Now leadoff double. Showalter's club a game ahead of the Rays in the American League East standings.
If the Rays win this game tonight, that'll be 2 out of 3 so far in this series. The 0-1 pitch to Jones. Line drive, base hit right field. Orioles take the lead. Souza Jr. cuts it off, holding Jones to a single, but Baltimore once again has the lead on an Adam Jones RBI, second of the night and 82nd of the season.
He takes the fastball toward right center field and drives in the second run of the night. So this time the Orioles cash in on the scoring opportunity.
Still nobody out. A double and a single to start the 6th. And here's Steve Clevenger. Struck out on a slider his first time up, also single. Started to say if the Rays win tonight, not only will they be tied with the Orioles in the standings at 72 and 76, they will be tied in the season series with 1 game to go at 9 apiece. And they would be tied in the all-time series, 157 games apiece. Souza to his left to make the catch on the line drive off the bat of Clevenger. They could be tied for the season record, the season series, and the franchise series, and that could set up the ultimate rubber game tomorrow. But first things first, they have to win tonight.
Well, let's see if they can win tonight.
Why not?
Right, yeah.
Make it fun. Then we'll see what will happen next. Runner on first and 1 out. Jonathan Scope at the plate. He is 1 for 2. Rays trail at 2-1. 8 hits for the Orioles for Erasmo, who allowed 1 hit in his last start. Probably feels like it's a dozen or so. He held the Yankees to 1 hit in 7 2/3 innings. But this is a team, the Baltimore Orioles, that over the years has given him a bit of trouble. On the ground towards third. Schaefer, nice scoop to second. 1 turn double play. Schaefer to Forsythe to Loney, and the rookie got a turn nicely on the short hop to get Erasmo out of the inning. Richie Schaefer, his 3rd start at third base this year, looking smooth at the hot corner. To hashtag #SSDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Steve is our winner tonight. Congratulations. And the Rays have the top of the order, Brandon Guyer, to lead things off. Guyer singled, scored the Rays' only run, and was hit by a pitch his last time up. He was hit by a pitch for the 19th time this year, a franchise record and the most in the American League. Ahead of the count 2-0. Big swing, no contact, 2-1. Wei-Yin Chen has only allowed an infield single and a hit batsman since the second batter of the game. He allowed a single to Guyer and a double to Schaefer to start the game, and since then only 2 base runners allowed, but he's fallen behind Guyer here, 3-1. The Rays answered a run in the first by the Orioles, trying to do the same again here in the 6th. Guyer now with a full count. Wei-Yin Chen making his 6th start of the season against the Rays and his 4th here at Tropicana Field. Strikes out Guyer, 5th strikeout of the night for Wei-Yin Chen.
Number 36, Richie Schaefer.
Well, he got him with a fastball away. 4 of his 5 strikeouts have been on the fastball. He's had good command of that tonight. And the other one, he chalked up on a slider. And that's been pretty much what he's done so far tonight. Fastball, slider.
There's that breaking ball that we haven't seen very often tonight. Way up and away for ball 1. You're wondering how Chen has made 4 starts at the Trop, and also Chris Tillman has done the same, 4 starts in St. Petersburg this year. They had the series back in May shifted from Oriole Park in Camden Yards, where the Orioles were the home team, and games played at Tropicana Field. Never before this season has a visiting player started 4 games in a year at the Trop. The only way that would be possible, you would think, would be a midseason trade within the division where a guy was in twice with his previous team and could also be here twice with another team. But Chen and Tillman now 4 starts, the only guys who have ever done that as visitors in one season. 2-2 the count to Richie Schaefer.
Well, there's a changeup, and we haven't seen many of those. A changeup in there. Well, they're going to have played 13 games of the season series here at the Trop.
Swing and a miss at a fastball. That's 3 in a row and 6 in the game for Chen. In tonight's game and all season long, Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Rays home run televised on Sun Sports. Evan Longoria has 2 home runs against Wei-Yin Chen this season. But Evan right now trying to snap both an 0 for 17 and a 1 for 28. Takes a fastball away, 1-0. Line drive, base hit, fair ball all the way down towards the corner and left. Longoria into second with a 2-out double.
Well, we said we haven't seen the changeup much. Evan just saw one there, 1-0, and pulled it just fair up the left field line. And now the Rays, with 2 outs, have a chance to knot this game up. The change is. His approach to the changeup is different this year. He used to throw a circle change. That's more of a sort of a palm ball. He back in his hand, kind of chokes it off a little bit more, and thought he could be more consistent with the changeup. That circle change had been a little erratic for him, and so he's changed on the change to more of a palm ball approach.
Here's Forsythe. He loves hitting against Chen, but he pops this one up. And Chris Davis is over in foul territory to make the play. And Logan retired for the final out of the 6th. So the Rays threaten but fail to score. Trail it 2-1 heading to the 7th. Financial. Don't go through life, grow through life. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by Checkers, epic meals, epic deals. Saturday night baseball at Tropicana Field. Baltimore leading the Rays 2-1 as we head to the 7th. Back we go to Dwayne Stats.
Todd, thank you very much. And back to the hill, Erasmo Ramirez, who's made only 73 pitches through the first 6, including just a 6-pitch 6th inning. Matt Wieters, the switch hitting catcher, leads off the 7th. The pitch is a ball. Rays do get some action up in their bullpen as we begin the 7th. The left-hander Eddie Romero starts to limber up. Tapper foul, and it's 1-1. Ramirez giving up a run in the 6th to make it a 2-1 ball game. Ball, 2 strikes. Slider's been good tonight. A good one right there.
That was one of his best. That one was down and in and really got underneath the hands of Wieters.
This one is lined right to Loney. Off speed, he had Wieters out front. Loney back of first there, about a step from the line. Took care of that soft line drive.
Number 28, Steve Pierce.
Andrew Bellotti has joined Romero now. Steve Pierce about to step in. He's 0 for 2, grounded to the shortstop his last time. Hit a fly ball to right first time around. And there's a slider. It lays off. Ball, no strikes. 2-1 ball game here in the 7th with Baltimore leading. There's a line drive, and it's going to be a base hit. Fastball and a single into left for Pierce. So Pierce, who hit 2 home runs and was on 3 times last night, in fact scored 3 runs, has a 1-out single in the 7th. Nine Baltimore hits. Now it's J.J. Hardy. Hardy's 1 out of 2. First pitch, a strike. Change up to the right-handed hitting shortstop.
Mentioned 9 hits. 1/3 of those hits are by Chris Davis, who now has 5 consecutive hits against Erasmo Ramirez. Not sure if he'll be taken out prior to that, but I doubt Erasmo faces Davis in this inning.
Hardy did go. This changeup moves the count to 0-2. Take a look at this changeup.
He did go.
Play. The Orioles have had men on base in 5 of the 7 innings, and in scoring position in 4 of the first 6. We have a 1-out single from Pierce here in the 7th. Rays have turned a couple of 5-4-3 double plays tonight. Hardy hits one foul outside of third. Count remains 2 strikes.
You know, the last one was heading to commercial at the end of an inning. We didn't have time to really appreciate it, but that was a really nice play by Richie Schaefer.
It was a great pickup, and we've seen how consistent he can be with the feed to second, but that was a great pickup on that ball hit by Scope. Ooh, close on the corner. That's strike 3. Dale Scott took just a beat, but he liked that fastball on the corner, and that's out number 2.
There you see the pitch. Scott had a good look at it, and he would call Hardy out. Been a while since Erasmo picked up a strikeout since back in the 3rd, but that was a big one.
Now we go to the top of the order. Gerardo Parra. Tapper fouled, strike 1. Parra hit a fly ball to left in the 1st, struck out on a changeup in the 3rd when Ramirez got ahead of the count, 1-2, and then a ground ball to 2nd in the 5th. It's a 1-strike count right now.
We saw him in that sequence when he struck out Parra. Start him with first pitch slider, 1-0 slider. He starts him again here with a slider, and as we said earlier in the game, that's a sequence you didn't see much in the beginning of the season. Early count sliders from Erasmo.
Two outs with Pierce, the base runner. Parra, the hitter. And he pops him up. Foul ball. Schaefer right there for it, makes the catch. And the top half of the 7th inning is complete. 7th inning stretch time. 2-1 Baltimore. We take a peek into what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. We'll hear from the Rays right-hander, Jake Odorizzi. Doug Wechter will break down Manny Machado and the great season he is having again, both at the plate and at third base. As Jubal Cabrera is going to open the bottom of the 7th against Wei-Yin Chen. And he throws him a slider this time. He'd worked him with a lot of fastballs in the first 2 at bats. 1 ball, no strikes. Cut and a miss on a fastball. 1-1.
Did you see those two guys during that promo? Erasmo's pitching tonight, and he and Chris Archer have been in the last few games playing the where's the camera game, like which camera's shooting us. And they're still doing it tonight. He's the starting pitcher in the middle of a game.
Hey, there's a liner into left. That's going to fall for a base hit. A changeup. He left it up a little bit. And Cabrera is on to start the bottom of the 7th. So let's see if that will lead to something.
Well, the Rays haven't had much of a threat against Wei-Yin Chen since the first inning. Only the fourth base runner, third hit since the first inning, and a leadoff base runner for the first time since inning 1.
Cabrera's at first. James Loney, the hitter. And a base hit the other way for Loney. Down to second base goes Cabrera. Cabrera singles on the change. Loney takes a fastball the other way. Just like that, first and second with nobody out.
And a quick rally starting here in the 7th inning with no bullpen action at this point for the Baltimore Orioles. So Buck Showalter is going to let Wei-Yin Chen try and work through things here as the Rays have their best threat in a while.
Well, it's Colomé up in the bullpen for the Rays after the 33-pitch 1 inning he had here on Thursday. Steven Souza Jr. Big opportunity for the Rays in the 7th. Souza fouls the fastball out of play, strike 1.
He has just missed a couple of fastballs tonight. That one was a little bit in, crowding him slightly, but it put pretty good rip.
That one is in off the plate. 1-1. Brad Brock starting to loosen quickly in the Baltimore bullpen. Stays in off the plate with a fastball. 2-1. Souza up here for the 3rd time. That's a fly ball into right. Parra will be there waiting. That's the first out. So the fly ball to right retires Souza. That'll be left on lefty. Kevin Kiermaier on his way to hit against Wei-Yin Chen. Kiermaier came into the game 4 of 10 with a home run off Wei-Yin Chen. He's 0 for 2 tonight. You saw Kiermaier as he stepped in, surveying the defensive setup out there. Up the left side, that's foul, out of play.
You know, I thought it was interesting, the decision by the Rays as to which night Kevin Kiermaier would be given off during this series. In the beginning of the season, he was not playing all the time against left-handed starters. And in this case, where they wanted to give him the breather, they said, well, we don't care if he's facing a lefty or not. We're going to give him the night before off.
Cut and a miss on the fastball. Elevated. 2 strikes.
Yeah, out of the hand, this looked good to Kiermaier, but this is never a strike. This is up around the shoulders. You can see Wieters coming out of the crouch, and Kevin wishes he had that one back.
Down. Slider down there. Milwaukee up again alongside Colomé. Just a little bit of that one, and I think it caught Dale Scott. Just a little piece of that for a foul ball, and the veteran umpire Dale Scott will take a little time to put things back together.
Good job by Kiermaier to stay alive. This was a tough pitch. breaking down and away from him. And he just got enough there to spoil that good slider.
Upstairs, he lays off the fastball, this time high. 2-2. Bailey on deck. Line drive, and it's grabbed by Hardy. Nice catch by Hardy, the shortstop, and immediately looked back at second to see where Cabrera was. Well, Kiermaier tried to get it through the left side on a line, and Hardy made a nice play.
This was a bullet and a really good read by Asdrubal Cabrera to not get doubled up at second. Look at Asdrubal heading right back. He saw exactly where Hardy was. Shortstop reading another shortstop. And that keeps, at least for now, the inning alive. A lot of guys' first reaction on that line drive is to head towards third, but Asdrubal had a good read there.
Well, Joey Butler is going to come off the bench to pinch hit for Maile. So the Rays with 2 men on and down to 2 outs here in the 7th inning will call upon Butler. Joey hitting .271 for the year. He's 3 for 12 against Chen with a home run. And lays off a fastball up. Chen could not entice him to go after that one. Foul back. That'll play 1-1.
I think that probably had to factor into the decision. You've got a guy on your bench who had 5 hits last night, a right-hand hitter, Mikey Matuk, but he's never faced Chen before. And Butler, as you said, with a dozen plate appearances or a dozen ABs against him, so he's seen him more than a handful of times.
Misses a fastball. Chen's been able to get that fastball in at times tonight. They've been big pitches for him.
He has made a lot of quality pitches in this inning after allowing back-to-back base hits to start the inning.
And a cut and a miss. Butler missed the fastball. Chen with a big strikeout to end the 7th inning threat. It's 2-1 Baltimore. Tonight's high def highlight presented by H.H. Gregg. Erasmo Ramirez has completed his evening's work, 7 innings, 4 strikeouts. He made 86 pitches and made 65 of those pitches for strikes. Gave up a run in the first and a run in the sixth, and as he departs, he's down 2-1.
I thought he pitched really well tonight. We have the new battery of Rene Rivera and Andrew Bellotti in there for the Rays. I thought Erasmo, other than Chris Davis, gave up a couple of soft serve base hits and could have easily pitched shutout baseball again tonight, except for one guy had his number, and that was the Orioles' first baseman.
The 11th appearance for Bellotti. He is 3-1 with a 147 earned run average. He faces Manny Machado. Machado missed the slider, strike one. Foul back. The slider. Darren O'Day is up in the bullpen. Be interesting to see how the Orioles play this out. Zach Britton has not been in a game in this series. There was some talk about the physical issue with him. He apparently maintains he's all right. So we'll see tonight, depending on how the game works. Souza will go back to the wall and make the catch on this one. A fastball, and Machado took it the other way. Souza had to go all the way to the wall to gather that one in.
That's a guy who in one season has become very comfortable with his surroundings. Earlier in the year, he was kind of gauging where that wall was, and now he makes that play look relatively easy, but he went right to the edge of the wall, knew he had some space, and makes the play.
There's Chris Davis. 3 for 3 tonight with 2 doubles. And that big uppercut, he fouls it, strike one. .42 home runs for Davis. And 107 runs batted in. Second in the league. One ball, one strike.
Almost any other center fielder in baseball, he probably would have 108 RBIs. Kevin Kiermaier really played his double well in the first inning.
That kept Machado at third base for at least a little while on the double by Davis. And he scored on the ground ball by Jones. Adam Jones, who is on deck, has both runs batted in tonight for Baltimore. Ooh, I don't know how he took that pitch. A fastball on 1-2, and that was very close. In fact, that's exactly what you want to do with him. That's a strike. There have been a couple of those missed by Dale Scott tonight, and that's a crucial one because that's what he wanted to do with him. You could go up to Chris Davis, and if you do, that's where you want to go. He comes back and strikes him out on another fastball. So he had to get him twice, once looking and that time swinging.
The one thing about Bellotti, as he put 2 pitches exactly where he wanted to in the zone up, as Dwayne said, the one thing about Bellotti, from the very first time we've seen him, he doesn't get rattled by anything. He seems like he's got great poise. Again, going through the league for the first time and facing Chris Davis there. Missed a pitch that he thought should have been a third strike and comes right back and puts him away with the next pitch.
That's Adam Jones, 1 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. Strike one. He had Jones geared for the fastball. I guess he saw the last couple pitches to Chris Davis up around 94. And he was set for that first pitch fastball. The slider got him for strike one. And he comes right back with it. Strike two.
I think you could triple up. We'll see how he attacks him here. He may want to waste one fastball in just to get him up the plate, but he hasn't come close to those first 2 sliders.
And as we know, Jones is very aggressive up there. It's up. You could see the target by Rene Rivera was up with that fastball. All right, you're going to give him a fastball, a couple of sliders down. He's chased him up with the fastball. And that's a base hit. Another fastball. He tried to get that one in, and just enough of the plate to give Jones a chance to hit it over the infield, and he has a base hit. Well, kids, come cap off a great September weekend at the ballpark. Tomorrow, the Rays and the Orioles go at it again. And kids 14 and under in attendance receive a Rays knitted cap while supplies last. For tickets, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. Steve Clevenger now with a runner at first. He lines it foul outside the right field line. Strike one. Yeah, I'm sort of with you. You know, you give Jones that fastball up, throw him that breaking ball, give him that slider again, see if he'll chase it.
They tried to come in, and they did, but he's a good enough hitter. He spun on that, just got enough of it. Not a hard hit, base hit to left, but he was able to get it into left. I'm not sure if he would have been able to touch that slider based on the first two swings.
2. 7 for Ramirez. Bellotti in his first inning. It's fouled away. And you know, BA and I were talking the other night about pitch selection. And as much as it is the pitch to be made, it's the pitch that you make to make it a good pitch. Bellotti would have loved to have had that fastball in a little bit more. Just a little bit too much of the plate. And you're right, Jones is a good hitter, strong enough to get it over the infield. That's what he did. Not a bad pitch, but not exactly where Rene Rivera and Andrew Bellotti wanted it to be. Stroke the other way, foul. Still 2 strikes the count on Clevenger. Chopper down to first. That's a fair ball, says C.B. Buckner. Wade Kirby, the first base coach, not sure that he agrees that Buck Showalter is going to come out and talk that one over with Dale Scott and maybe Buckner. Scott has intercepted him. So they're going to discuss this situation.
They'll have a nice discussion, but not a reviewable play. So Buck does not have the ability to challenge this because it's a ground ball in front of the umpire. So it can either be Dale Scott's call prior to the bag or C.B. Buckner. Either way, it was called fair, and that's the way it's going to stand.
So we're going to go into the bottom of the 8th with the Rays down 2-1. of the 8th inning. Down 2-1 with a run being scored by Baltimore in the 6th inning to break a 1-1 tie. Darren O'Day will be the new pitcher. 7 innings for Wei-Yin Chen. O'Day comes on, and John Jaso will pinch hit to open the bottom of the 8th. Jaso's 32nd birthday today. The pitch, that's a strike.
See O'Day's 62nd game of the year. Comes at you with that extreme sidearm delivery, sinker and slider. A lot of sliders to right-hand hitters.
And he's ahead of John Jaso now. 2 strikes. O'Day pitched the 9th inning in the game here Thursday. Picked up the save. Got Jaso on a fly ball to center field to end that game. Jaso fouls it out of play. Grady Sizemore has moved into the on-deck circle. Schaefer due up, but Sizemore out there with a bat. Oh, 2 the count. Upstairs. 1-2.
Got a 4-seamer too, in addition to the sinker. Try to get Jaso to chase that. You see the action of the Rays bullpen. Matt Andrews, Brad Boxberger. That fly out to end the game on Thursday. Jaso hit the ball really well, just to the deepest part of the field.
Chops it up the right side, foul. The Rays left a couple men on base in the 7th inning. Admitted first and second, nobody out. Could not do anything with that against Wei-Yin Chen, who worked 7 innings. Gave up just the first inning run. Rays had 6 hits off him. He made 101 pitches. Jaso fouls it again. So the battle on between Darren O'Day and John Jaso.
I thought Chen did a really nice job of staying in pitchers' counts most of the night. He was ahead most of the evening, making the Rays go after his pitches, and not many threats after the first, although the Rays did have first and second last inning.
And again, a bouncing foul ball. Jaso, after the fly ball out the other night against O'Day, is 2 for 7 against him throughout his career, including some postseason in there. Only 5 otherwise. Close. He did not offer on the appeal down to Sean Barber.
Seen everything in this at bat. 8 pitches deep, and Jaso has really worked Darren O'Day to start the 8th.
Yeah, he started down quickly in this at bat. He's worked it back to 2-2. Close, and that's on the corner for strike 3 call. So Scott calls Jaso out on strikes.
Fans don't like it. I think it had the plate. I'm not sure if it was high enough, but Dale Scott called it a strike. Take another look. It's that sidearm slider, and borderline at the knees. Fox Tracks had it just high enough.
Grady Sizemore. Sizemore came through in the 6-run 5th inning last night with the bases loaded double. Hits this one deep but foul down the right side. Boy, the Rays have had a couple of those tonight. That long one up the right side foul. Longoria had one of those earlier tonight down the left field side foul.
Sizemore does have a home run against O'Day in his last at bat.
And this one hits him.
Ooh.
Sizemore hit by the pitch.
That's right around the knee, the right knee. Paul Harker, assistant athletic trainer, out there to look at Grady. No way to get out of that, bearing in on you from the side-arming right-hander.
The way you naturally want to go, the ball's going to follow you.
Yeah, they're not going to take any chances here with Grady. And he's trying to talk himself into staying in the game to Kevin Cash, but Kevin's not going to mess around. He's had enough injuries in his career. You don't want to take any chances here when you get hit around the knee.
And Mikey Montook is going to get into this game, it would appear. After his big game, 5-hit game last night, Montook will now run for Sizemore. Sizemore pinch hitting. And now Mikey Montook's going to be the base runner with Evan Longoria due up. Well, Evan has had some success against O'Day. This could get interesting here. One on, one out. Upstairs and wide, the slider.
See overall the career numbers. That home run came in his last at bat against O'Day. In fact, he has 3 consecutive hits. Home run, single, single, his last 3 ABs against the side-arming right-hander.
There goes Montook. Swing and a miss, and the throw down. He is safe at second base. Lance Barrett looking in, waiting for the call.
We're going to send him back to first.
And Dale Scott, what's he going to say? Time had been called?
And Longoria came across the plate and interfered with Wieters.
That's it.
Wow, that was a great slide by Montook to steal that bag. The throw beat him to second, and he barely got his hand in before the tag. But Dale Scott's going to wipe out the stolen base, saying that Evan Longoria interfered with Matt Wieters on the swing and came across the plate to impact his throw. Let's take another look, Dwayne. The bat hits him, but Longoria's not across the plate. In fact, Evan tried his best to get out of the way. That's a tough call against the Rays right there.
Yeah, Longoria caught him with a backswing. And so they call Longoria out and send the runner back. And boy, that's a tough call right there.
Wow.
So the catcher Wieters will get the put out on interference. And Kevin Cash wants to talk it over with Dale Scott some more here.
I mean, Evan never crossed the plate. His bat hit Wieters on the backswing. We see that all the time. But Evan never came across the plate to interfere with Wieters.
No, he never left the box.
In fact, he crouched down to get out of his way. That's a very difficult call to take. Here's the swing by Longoria. This happens all the time where the bat hits the catcher. But Longoria, oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough call to make right there. Not only do you lose a man in scoring position with 1 out, now he's at first with 2 outs. He's going. Logan Forsythe takes a pitch up, and the throw down is in time. They tag Matuk out. Scope put the tag on Mikey Matuk, and just like that, the Rays are out of what appeared to be a very promising situation. But that call at the plate by Dale Scott turned this inning completely around.
Yeah, this time it's a perfect throw by Wieters right on the bag. Ooh, I don't know. Does he get the tag on the elbow in time? Let's take another look. Doesn't. Yeah, I think he might be out. I don't know if there's enough there.
Yep, so the Rays are not going to challenge this, it would appear. And we're at the end of 8. Boy, that's a tough development there. 2-1 Baltimore. By Circle K, with all your snacking needs. Fill up your Polar Pop cup for just 79 cents. Circle K, what else do you need? By Kubota. For more information or to find a participating dealer, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. And by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. We move into the 9th inning. It's still a 2-1 Baltimore lead. Changes for the Rays. It's Logan Forsythe now over at third base. Nick Franklin enters the game at second. And the new pitcher's Matt Andriese. Jonathan Scope takes the pitch, and that's too low. 1 ball, no strikes. It's 1-1. Franklin goes into the number 2 spot in the Rays lineup. Two balls and a strike. Three and one.
Downstairs, Dwayne, in between innings, they get the clarification on that interference call.
Yep.
On Evan Longoria. Charlie Relaford umpire supervisor who's here often at Tropicana Field and does a great job explaining some of the rulings to us.
And Popper on the 3-1 pitch. Forsythe takes care of that. What do you have to say?
Well, basically, as we thought, it had nothing to do with the backswing hitting the catcher. That's going to happen all the time. It's a judgment call by the umpire. It's not based on exactly where he is positioned on the plate. It's strictly a judgment call whether he feels like the hitter was a hindrance to the catcher and making a throw to second base.
Well, in that case, it was a terrible call. It was ridiculous. If that's the justification, because Longoria did not interfere in any way, shape, or form. That's one of the worst calls that we'll see.
And he says it doesn't have to be contact. There doesn't have to be contact. He said that's the misconception. It's whether he feels like the catcher was hindered in making his throw by the batter. And that's a judgment call, and it's a very difficult call to make in that situation with the game on the line.
Yeah.
It has to, I feel it has to be a little more egregious than that.
Yeah, there's no question it has to be more egregious. It was not egregious at all. It was a non-call that somehow Dale Scott, I don't know how he made the call. I have nothing against Dale Scott. He's a nice umpire, a good man. He made a bad call there. 1-2 the count.
Let's take another look.
Yeah, look at this. The bat has nothing to do with it.
Correct. It's strictly whether the umpire, in the umpire's judgment, no.
That's just, he's seeing things.
That's
in that situation, ground ball right side, and Franklin takes care of Wieters. 2 gone. Yeah, that's too bad. It's really unfortunate. I mean, no hard feelings, no animus against Dale Scott. He made a mistake. He made a wrong call, and it's sad. I mean, you got 2 teams here in 3rd and 4th, and they're 15 games left, and one's 13 games out, and one's 14 games out. Okay, fine. But that's not a call to make, certainly not in that situation. And we all make mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes. We all have. And I think reasonable people would agree that Dale Scott made a mistake in judgment right there. Doesn't mean he's a bad guy. He's a good guy.
He's good.
But boy, did he make a big mistake. Want to know the count to Steve Pearce. It's a strike. It's 1-1. So the Rays trying to hold the Orioles here and do something in the bottom of the 9th. This one popped up by Pearce. Cabrera makes the call and the catch. So the Rays will go into hit in the bottom of the 9th, down 2-1. Two to 1. They've been out hit 10-6. We take a look at our gold and diamond source summary of what has gone on. Both teams scoring a single run in the first, and Baltimore scoring in the sixth on an RBI single by Adam Jones, who had driven in the run in the first with a ground ball. Richie Schaefer, who started the game at third, no longer in the game, doubled home the Rays' run in the first after a Brandon Guyer base hit. But now Zach Britton, the excellent young closer, will make his 59th appearance for Baltimore.
A little bit of a breather for Britton since his last appearance on Tuesday. Fastball slider. Big fastball, 97 miles an hour on average.
Logan Forsythe goes after the first one, lofts a high fly ball down the right field line. That's going to fall, and that is a fair ball. A foul ball, I beg your pardon. A foul ball. Parra, Davis, and Scope all down there. And so Forsythe, that had a lot of hang time and just foul. Let's take a look at it.
Ooh, less than a foot. Wow.
It had so much hang time, a little surprising that somebody didn't catch it. And C.B. Buckner on top of that immediately called it foul. Unlike my call. See, we all make mistakes right there. I saw him call it foul, knew it was foul, and tried to wish it fair.
That last pitch had some nasty dive to it.
I'll tell you, Britton, you know, there was some speculation that there was something physical bothering him. When he's at the top of his game, it's hard to think there's another guy as good as he is coming out of the bullpen. Now, fly ball to right, and Parra takes care of this one for the out. Let's check in with Rich Hollenberg.
Thank you, Dwayne. Coming up right after the finale of this game, it'll be Rays Live, the postgame, brought to you by Checkers. We will give you an update as best we can on Grady Sizemore after he got plunked a couple innings ago. We'll also revisit that catcher's interference call with Evan Longoria. We'll talk about Erasmo Ramirez's night and much more. I'll be in the clubhouse. We'll get interviews and all that you could expect from Rays Live, the postgame, brought to you by Checkers. That's coming up immediately following the conclusion of this one, guys.
The Rays down to their final 2 outs as Drupal Cabrera in the batter's box right now. The pitch is a strike. Cabrera single in the 7th. And down in the count 0-2 in the 9th.
Talked about the nastiness from Britton. I mean, this is high octane with movement down.
Cabrera out on strikes. That one at 96, and that's exactly to the point you made.
He's got split finger action on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Look at that dive. I mean, that goes from shin high to the dirt in the last few feet at the plate. Good luck with that.
Tim Beckham will pinch hit for Loney. Two outs, bases empty, and Beckham to pinch hit. Ground ball headed toward the middle. Backhanded by Scope. Throw to first. What a play. Davis managed to keep his foot on the bag. Scope made a great play. Beckham making a bid for a base hit up the middle is thrown out. Scope to Davis to end this game. Well, a tough evening here for the Rays. J.J. Hardy asking Scope, how did you make that play?
Not just getting to the ball, and it almost pops out of his glove, but off-balance jump throw, and he puts a lot on it. And Davis able to come back on the bag right there to retire Beckham.
So it's a 2-1 final for the Orioles. 2-10-0 with 6 left. For the Rays, 1-6-0 with 5 men left. Chen's going to pick up the win. Ramirez the loss, and Britton the save. For Todd Callis and the rest of our crew, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast, if not the outcome. Rays and the Orioles tomorrow on Sun Sports. Our coverage begins at 12:30. Coming up next, Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers.